The stars looked peaceful from Earth that night. No one knew everything would change by morning. The human race had finally built ships that could travel between stars. This was a big achievement for Earth, but to the Galactic Confederation, humans were still like children playing with toys. The Confederation had 17 alien species who had been traveling space for thousands of years. Tai sat at his control station in the Seoul Space Center. His job was to watch for signals from other worlds. For years, his screens had shown nothing unusual. But tonight, strange patterns appeared on his monitor. "Director Bay." "You need to see this," Tai called out, his voice shaking slightly. "Director." Bay walked quickly to Tai's station. Her usually calm face showed worry as she studied the readings. "Contact all global space agencies immediately," she ordered, "and get me President Kim on the line." Within hours, space centers around the world confirmed the same thing. A large group of ships was approaching Earth. They weren't trying to hide. They wanted to be seen. President Kim called an emergency meeting with world leaders. In the big meeting room in New York, screens showed the approaching ships. Some leaders wanted to prepare for war. Others thought this could be a friendly visit. "We should show them we come in peace," said Min, South Korea's ambassador. "If they wanted to hurt us, why would they approach so openly?" The leaders agreed to send a welcome message to the alien ships. They prepared Earth's small fleet of 5 interstellar vessels to meet the visitors near the moon. Captain Jun was chosen to lead this historic mission. Jun felt both excited and afraid as his ship, the Harmony, left Earth's orbit with 4 other vessels. His crew of 20 included Hua, the best language expert on Earth, and scientist Do, who had helped build Earth's first faster-than-light engine. "Remember," Jun told his crew, "we represent all of humanity today." The alien ships were massive compared to Earth's vessels. The largest was shaped like a silver tree with branches, spreading wide. Smaller ships surrounded it, looking like metal seeds. "They're beautiful," whispered Hua as she watched through the view screen. A message came through their communication system in perfect English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. We are the Galactic Confederation. We have been watching your development and wish to welcome you to the greater community of spacefaring species." Earth celebrated this first contact. News stations showed the alien ships. Children drew pictures of their new space friends. Leaders prepared for formal meetings, but not everyone in the Confederation wanted peace with humans. On the main Confederation ship, Ambassador Ra from the peaceful Lumi species argued with General Mach of the Dak Alliance. "Humans show great potential," said Ra. "They created space travel despite their young civilization." "That's exactly why they're dangerous," Mach replied coldly. "They develop too quickly. They still fight wars among themselves. Imagine what they'll do when they have our technology." While Ra prepared for diplomatic meetings, Mach secretly contacted his fleet hidden behind Mars. The Dak Alliance had decided humans were too unpredictable to join the Confederation. On Earth, Jin watched the sky with his daughter Sue from their apartment in Busan. "Do you think we'll get to visit other planets now, Dad?" Sue asked excitedly. "Maybe someday," Jin smiled, not knowing that high above them, Mach was giving the order that would change everything. The attack came without warning. Dak ships appeared from behind Mars and fired on Earth's orbital defenses. The 5 human ships meeting with the Confederation were destroyed in seconds. Only the Harmony managed to send a brief warning before it exploded. On Earth, people watched in horror as bright lights flashed across the sky. These weren't fireworks but weapons hitting major cities. Buildings fell. Power went out across continents. In the Confederation main ship, Ambassador Ra was shocked. "What have you done?" he shouted at Mach. "This wasn't approved by the Council." "It's a preventative measure," Mach replied calmly. "Humans are unpredictable and dangerous. We've studied their history. They only understand force." In the ruins of Seoul Space Center, Tae pulled Director Bay from under fallen equipment. Blood ran down her face, but her eyes showed determination, not defeat. "Send a message to all surviving military bases," she told Tae. "Tell them to go dark. No communications, no responses." "What good will silence do?" asked Tae. Director Bay looked at the screen showing the attacking ships. They think they know humans from studying us, but they don't understand what happens. When humans get truly angry, let them think they've won. Meanwhile, we'll prepare. Across Earth, as smoke rose from destroyed cities, survivors gathered. They didn't panic or surrender. Instead, a cold fury spread among them. The Confederation had made a terrible mistake. They had awakened something they didn't understand. Humanity was mad, and soon the galaxy would realize its mistake. 3 months after the attack, the Galactic Confederation was confused. They expected humans to beg for mercy or attempt some desperate counterattack. Instead, Earth had gone completely silent. No transmissions, no distress signals, nothing. In the main Confederation ship, General Mock paced impatiently before his officers. "It makes no sense," he growled. "Our reports show we destroyed all major military installations and communication centers, yet not a single surrender message." "Perhaps there's no one left to surrender," suggested his aide. Mock shook his head. "Impossible. Our attack was precise, meant to cripple, not exterminate. Scan again." Deep beneath the ruins of what was once Seoul, a different kind of meeting was taking place. In a reinforced bunker designed to withstand nuclear attacks, 20 people sat around a table made from salvaged office furniture. They represented what remained of Earth's governments. Yu, once South Korea's defense minister, now spoke for all of Asia. "What's our status?" Sim, the lead engineer, touched a tablet, bringing up diagrams on the wall. "We've connected all surviving manufacturing facilities through the old mining tunnels. Production is at 60% and climbing." "What about the alien technology?" asked Jin, who had once been a university professor and was now in charge of research. Dr. Yoon stood up. Before the attack, she had been designing computer games. Now she was humanity's best hope for understanding alien technology. Her clothes were stained and her eyes showed she hadn't slept in days, but her voice was strong. "We've made breakthroughs," she said. "The crashed DAC fighter in Argentina gave us their shield technology. The one in Canada had intact weapon systems." She projected an image of what looked like a simple metal box. "This is what we found in all their ships. It's their central computer. And we've figured out how it works." A murmur went through the room. Yu leaned forward. "Can we use it?" Yoon smiled for the first time in months. "Better, we can hack it." Meanwhile, ordinary people across Earth worked silently toward survival and eventual retaliation. In underground farms, children too young to remember the sky helped grow food. Former office workers learned to repair alien technology. Everyone had a role. In a hidden facility under the Pacific Ocean, Captain June supervised the conversion of Earth's remaining space vessels. Before the attack, he had been training to pilot humanity's first mission to Mars. Now he was preparing for a very different journey. "Will it work?" he asked, as technicians installed what looked like mismatched pieces of machinery into his ship. Chief Engineer 1 wiped grease from her hands. "It doesn't look pretty, but it'll work. We've combined our engines with their technology. It's faster than anything they have because no one would think to build it this way." "That's our advantage," June nodded. "We don't think like them." Above Earth, the Confederation continued its surveillance. In the diplomatic section of the main ship, Ambassador Ra confronted General Mock. "The Council is demanding answers," Ra said. "This unauthorized attack has violated our most sacred principles." "The Council will thank me when humans are no longer a threat," Mock replied. "What threat? Their technology was centuries behind ours. You don't understand their nature. In their history, after major defeats, humans don't surrender. They plan revenge. Their silence isn't defeat, it's preparation." Ra's eyes widened. "Then we should open communications, offer reparations." "It's too late for that," Mock cut him off. "Now we must finish what we started." But the Confederation's renewed scan of Earth revealed nothing useful. Their sensors detected movement in the ruins of cities but couldn't penetrate the deeper underground areas where humanity was truly working. 6 months after the attack, in a ceremony held in the largest bunker beneath former New York, President Han addressed representatives from all surviving human settlements. Once a low-level city official, she had risen to leadership through her ability to unite people. "Today we remember what we lost," she said, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "And tomorrow, we begin to take it back." She nodded to Min, who had once been a satellite engineer and now commanded Earth's intelligence operations. Min pressed a button on her tablet. Across Earth, thousands of small devices activated. Launched months earlier using remaining conventional rockets, they had attached to Confederation communication satellites. Now they began transmitting a simple message, a countdown. On the Confederation main ship, alarms sounded as their systems detected the intrusion. "What is this?" demanded Mach, watching the countdown appear on every screen. No one could answer him. Their advanced systems couldn't block the primitive but clever human hack. As the countdown reached 0, a single message replaced it, translated into every Confederation language. "You attacked the wrong species." At that exact moment, in the hidden underwater base, Captain June gave the order. His ship, part human technology, part reverse-engineered alien systems, lifted silently from the ocean floor. Undetectable to Confederation sensors, it headed toward the stars with Earth's response. The silent phase was over. Now came humanity's answer. Captain June's ship, the Shadow, traveled silently through space. It looked small and harmless, just a dark speck against the stars. But inside it carried Earth's future. The crew of 12 was silent as they approached the DAC Alliance outpost near Jupiter. This base had been built quickly after the attack on Earth. From here, the DAC monitored what they thought were the ruins of human civilization. "All systems ready," reported Pilot Sue. Like everyone on board, she had lost family in the attack. The scar across her face showed she had nearly died herself. "Weapons check," ordered June. Engineer Gill touched his console. "Dr. Yoon's device is online. Power levels stable." The device looked simple, just a small metal cylinder with blinking lights. But inside was a combination of human creativity and alien technology that had never existed before. On the DAC outpost, Commander Kell was bored. Monitoring a defeated planet was not the glorious assignment he had hoped for. His screen showed nothing unusual as he sipped his drink. Then an alarm sounded. A small object had appeared at the edge of their sensor range. "Identify," he ordered. Lazily, his officer looked confused. "It appears to be a human vessel." Kell spat out his drink. "Impossible. Their ships were all destroyed." "It's definitely human design, sir. But different somehow." Kell wasn't worried. One small human ship was no threat to their outpost's powerful shields. "Prepare to capture it. General Mach will want to know how they managed this." On the Shadow, June watched the DAC outpost grow larger on his screen. "They've spotted us. Shields. Up." "Shields would give away our surprise," Sue reminded him. "We go in naked." June nodded. The plan depended on the DAC thinking they were defenseless. The DAC outpost fired a warning shot across their bow. A voice came through their communication system. "Human vessel, surrender immediately or be destroyed." June looked at his crew. Each face showed the same determination. He opened a channel. "This is Captain June of Earth. We have a message for the Galactic Confederation." On the main Confederation ship, Ambassador Ra was alerted about the human transmission. He rushed to the command center where General Mach was already watching. "How did they build a new ship so quickly?" Mach demanded. No one answered. They watched as the small human vessel approached the DAC outpost. The DAC commander laughed at the human ship's approach. "Their weapons can't penetrate our shields. Capture them." As the tractor beam reached out to grab the Shadow, June gave the order. "Now." Gill activated Dr. Yoon's device. A pulse of energy, invisible but powerful, spread from the Shadow. It touched the DAC outpost's shield and did something impossible. It passed through. On the outpost, every system suddenly shut down. Lights went out. Air systems stopped. The mighty shields that protected the base simply disappeared. "What's happening?" shouted Commander Kell as emergency lights cast red shadows across his panicked face. His officer stared at the screens in disbelief. They They turned off our shields, just turned them off, like flipping a switch. That's not possible, but it was. On the Confederation main ship, silence fell as they watched the impossible happen. The human ship hadn't attacked the base. It had simply neutralized it. How? Whispered Ra. Their technology was primitive. General Mock's face had gone pale. Get me everything we have on human warfare. Now. Captain June opened a channel that would reach not just the disabled outpost, but every Confederation ship and base in the solar system. Attention, Galactic Confederation. This is humanity speaking. His voice was calm, but everyone who heard it felt a chill. You attacked a species that spent its entire evolutionary history fighting itself. Did you really think we wouldn't know how to fight you? In underground bunkers across Earth, people gathered around communication screens to hear June's message. Children held their parents' hands. Survivors with missing limbs and burn scars stood tall. You studied our technology, but not our history, June continued. If you had, you would know this. Humans have never been more dangerous than when we are fighting for survival. On the Shadow, Sue sent the second part of their message. Data packets containing information about every Confederation ship in Earth's solar system. Humanity had been watching, learning, finding weaknesses. We now understand your technology better than you do, said June. Because we don't think like you. We think like survivors, like fighters. In the diplomatic wing of the Confederation main ship, Ambassador Ra turned to his advisors. Research everything about human conflict patterns. Now. What they found terrified them. Throughout human history, technological underdogs had defeated superior forces through adaptation, improvisation, and sheer determination. Humans didn't fight like logical beings. They fought like cornered animals, with creativity born of desperation. As the Shadow turned away from the disabled DAC outpost, June delivered the final part of humanity's message. This was a demonstration, not an attack. We could have destroyed that base but chose not to. Remember that mercy when what comes next begins. The Shadow vanished. Using a jump technology the Confederation thought impossible for humans to develop so quickly. In his command center, General Mock reviewed the reports with growing horror. The humans hadn't just adapted Confederation technology, they had improved it. Even now, his scientists couldn't explain how Dr. Yoon's device had bypassed the most advanced shields in the galaxy. What have we awakened? He asked no one in particular. The answer came in the following days as human ships appeared throughout the solar system, each carrying new surprises for the invaders who had mistaken human silence for defeat. The galaxy was about to learn an important lesson. Never make humanity truly angry. The Galactic Confederation was not used to fear. For thousands of years they had been the most powerful force in the known universe. But now their ships were disappearing. Their bases were going dark. And humans were the reason. Admiral Day stood on the bridge of the Vengeance, Earth's first true warship. It was smaller than Confederation vessels but faster and more unpredictable. Like all of humanity's new fleet, it combined human design with reverse-engineered alien technology. Target in range, reported Weapons Officer Gill. Through the view screen they could see a massive DAC supply station. This single base held enough resources to supply the Confederation forces in half the solar system. Remember, said Day to her crew, we're not like them. We don't target civilians. The plan was precise. The engineers had found a flaw in DAC shield design. When their shields were hit with a specific frequency, they would fail, but only for 3 seconds. Begin, ordered Day. The Vengeance fired. The shield rippled, then failed briefly. In that short window, 20 small pods shot from the Earthship and attached to the station's hull. Then the Vengeance disappeared into hyperspace before the DAC could respond. Inside the station, Commander Pell received reports about the brief attack. They missed us, he laughed. Scans show no damage. But the pods weren't weapons. They were packed with the smallest computers humans had ever built, specially designed by Sun, who had been a video game designer before the attack on Earth. Now these tiny computers were connecting to the station's systems. On Earth, In a command center built inside a mountain, Sun sat surrounded by screens. His fingers flew across his keyboard as he connected to the computers on the dock station. "I'm in," he said to General Me, who watched over his shoulder. "Show them what happens when they attack a planet of hackers," Me said with a grim smile. In space, throughout the solar system, similar scenes played out. Human ships appeared, deployed their technology, and vanished before the Confederation could respond properly. On the main Confederation ship, General Mock called an emergency meeting with his commanders. "How are they doing this?" he demanded. "Their ships are appearing and disappearing at will." Science Officer Tao looked uncomfortable. "They've modified our jump technology in ways we never considered. It's not logical." "What do you mean, not logical?" "Our drives are designed to be safe, to follow specific rules. Theirs ignore safety protocols. They're taking risks we would never consider." Before Mock could respond, the lights flickered. Screens around the room showed the same message. "We are watching." In another part of space, Captain June led a fleet of 5 human ships toward Mars, where the dock had established their main base. His mission was the most dangerous yet. "All ships report ready," said his communications officer. June nodded. "Begin Operation Hammer." The human ships didn't try to hide. They approached Mars openly, drawing the attention of every DAC vessel in the area. The DAC commanders smiled, thinking they had caught the humans in a mistake. "They're outnumbered 10-1, said DAC Commander Sen to his fleet. "Destroy them all." The DAC ships moved to surround the small human fleet, their weapons powered up. Victory seemed certain. Then, from the dark side of Mars, 30 more human ships appeared. They had been hiding there for days, using the planet to shield them from DAC sensors. The real plan became clear. The first 5 ships were a distraction. The true attack came from behind. On Earth, in the underground command center, General Me received updates from the battle. "June's fleet has engaged the enemy," reported a young officer. "The DAC forces are in disarray." Me nodded. "And the station?" Sun looked up from his screens with a smile. "Complete control achieved. Their entire supply network is now ours to command." Throughout the Confederation, leaders watched in growing horror as humanity's counterattack unfolded with precision and creativity they had never anticipated. Ambassador Ra confronted General Mock in a private meeting room. "This disaster is your doing," Ra said angrily. "You attacked a species you didn't understand. How could we know they would respond like this?" Mock defended himself. "No species has ever developed so quickly after an attack." "Because you didn't study their history properly. Humans have always been most innovative when facing destruction. Their entire civilization is built on overcoming challenges." On his flagship, Admiral Cal of the DAC forces watched his fleet being systematically dismantled by human tactics that made no sense to him. "They're using our own supply ships against us," reported his second-in-command. "The humans have somehow reprogrammed our automated vessels to ram our warships." Cal shook his head in disbelief. "No species fights like this. They sacrifice advantages, take unnecessary risks." "It's working, sir. We've lost 40% of our fleet." As human ships claimed victory after victory across the solar system, the Confederation began to understand a fundamental truth. They had not just attacked Earth. They had attacked the most dangerous species they could have chosen. In a hidden bunker on Earth, President Han received reports of the victories with a solemn face. "Tell our forces to remember the plan," she said. "We want justice, not vengeance." The hour retribution had begun. But humans, despite their anger, still remembered what made them different from those who had attacked them: the capacity for mercy, even in victory. 2 years after the first attack on Earth, the Galactic Confederation sued for peace. Their mighty warships gathered near Earth's moon, not as conquerors but as defeated foes seeking terms. On the diplomatic vessel Hope, President Han prepared to meet the Confederation leaders. The room was simple, with a round table that humans had insisted on. There would be no head of the table, no position of power. All would be equal here. "Are you ready?" asked Chief Diplomat San, who had once been a high school teacher. President Han straightened her simple uniform. Unlike Confederation leaders with their elaborate ceremonial dress, she wore what all humans wore now, practical clothing for people who had learned hard lessons. As ready as anyone can be to rewrite the rules of galactic politics, she replied with a small smile. The Confederation delegation entered, led by Ambassador Ra. General Mok followed, his once proud posture now bent with defeat. The Dark Alliance that had pushed for Earth's destruction had lost much of its power within the Confederation. "Welcome," said Han simply. "Please sit." As they took their places, Ra spoke first. "On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I formally apologize for the unprovoked attack on your world. We offer our deepest regrets and full reparations." Han nodded. Apologies are meaningful only when paired with change. Outside the meeting room, in space around Earth, the balance of power was clear. Human ships with their impossible technology patrolled alongside the remains of the once mighty Confederation fleet. In just 2 years, humanity had not only matched alien technology, but had surpassed it in several key areas. Inside the meeting room, the terms of peace were discussed. The Confederation representatives were surprised by what humans asked for. "You don't demand territory?" asked Ra, confused. "Humans don't think like you," explained San. "We don't want to rule others. We want to ensure this never happens again, to any emerging civilization." The new galactic treaty included 3 main points. First, all emerging civilizations would be protected by a council that included representatives from all species. Second, the DAC leaders who had ordered the attack would face justice for war, crimes. Third, Earth would join the Confederation as a full member with the special role of protecting new civilizations. "We expected harsher terms," admitted Ra, "given what you could demand with your military advantage." Han looked at the alien with steady eyes. "Revenge is easy. Peace is harder. We choose the harder path." General Mok could not understand. "If our positions were reversed, we would have destroyed you completely." "That," said Han quietly, "is why you lost." After the treaty was signed, Earth began to rebuild. Cities rose from ruins, now incorporating alien technology. The scars remained. Memorials stood where millions had died, but life continued. In what had once been a small fishing village in Korea, now a center for the new Earth Defense Force, young Officer Min instructed cadets from both Earth and various Confederation worlds. The key to human victory wasn't better weapons, she told them as they stood in the sunshine. It was our ability to think differently, to cooperate despite our differences, and to maintain our humanity even in the darkest times. A young Lumi alien raised its glowing appendage. "Is it true that humans could have destroyed the DAC homeworld but chose not to?" Min nodded. "We had the capability. Dr. Yoon's nullifier could have been modified to shut down their planetary life support systems. But that would have made us like them." The cadets looked at each other, the aliens beginning to understand something profound about their human instructors. 6 months after the peace treaty, a new phrase entered galactic language: to awaken the human. It meant to make a mistake so serious that it transformed a potential friend into an unstoppable force. On the rebuilt streets of Seoul, Jun walked with his daughter. She had been born after the attack and knew only stories of the war. "Dad, my teacher said humans changed the galaxy. Is that true?" Jun looked up at the night sky where ships from a dozen worlds now peacefully traveled between stars. "We reminded the galaxy of something important," he said. "Power without wisdom is dangerous. Technology without compassion is empty." In the Confederation Council chamber, now relocated to a space station orbiting Earth as a symbol of the new balance of power, Ambassador Rin represented humanity. Once a quiet librarian, she now spoke for her entire species. The attack on Earth was meant to prevent humans from joining galactic society, she told the assembled representatives. Instead, it shaped what kind of members we would become. The Confederation had learned that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their ability to fight, it was their ability to forgive while remaining strong. They understood the value of peace precisely because they knew the cost of war. As Earth ships explored further into the galaxy, they carried this message: never mistake kindness for weakness. The species that had survived the worst attack in their history had emerged not just stronger but wiser, and the galaxy was better for it.